Good to see you today.
You too.
So I saw a screening of Empire in LA with Brian Grazer and Lee Daniels. And I got to speak a little bit with Taraji, Trey, and Jesse at Upfronts. I love it. I think it's a beautiful story. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be really exciting as a series. Talk to me about Empire.
Well, I second everything you said about it. I'm really proud of Fox for stepping forward and tackling some of these really hard to discuss issues, homosexuality in the black community, where it sits in the family, passing on legacies, all of those things. But what excites me most about it is the fact that Lee Daniels is pulling a lot of these circumstances from his own life. Mm-hmm. Like in the pilot, the little boy being thrown in the trash. Lee explained that happened to him, and that I'm basically paying his father in this story. And I know a lot of stuff like that has happened along the way. But the music that we're adding to tell this story, we had Glee. Glee made a lot of money. Glee was great for singing, but the songs were just grabbed out of anywhere and put in there. These songs, every one of these songs has been specifically written for the show, written for the scene. So it's now, again, black people are able to showcase their talent, their musical gifts that, has kind of been put to the side. And I think it's really important to be on a show like that.
You mentioned the scene with the garbage can, which I thought was incredibly compelling, very moving. The idea that you have a mother and a father who have a gay child and are on opposite sides of the spectrum. Mom being very protective, father sort of dealing with his own machismo and not really knowing how to deal with his son. Talk to me about what it was like to kind of play that.
Well, I got 3 gay kids. I got all of my kids are happy, but I do have one child who's homosexual in his nature. I think that's one of Lucious's pet peeves. He likes the word gay, and he wants to take it back for everybody to be able to use it without it being associated to one's sexuality. It's he sees things one particular way. I mean, I don't know the backstory of where Lucious grew up as a child, because most of the time when a child goes through some traumatic events, he's been on the streets since he was 9 years old, raising himself. So I don't know what he experienced in order to survive from 9 to adulthood that may have colored his view towards homosexuality. All I know is Lucious has a wall up concerning that, and he will do anything to protect himself and his children from that. So when one of his children chooses to become homosexual, he lashes in a way that is very indicative of what you think would happen inside of a male-dominated home. We have all these little stories about, oh, my son came and said he was gay, and we talked and cried and all of that. And that's not what occurs, not in the black families. You're ostracized. The moment you show any type of inclination towards homosexuality, you are absolutely ostracized from the family. And for Lee to have grown up in a world that way, for Jussie Smollett to have grown up in a world that way, and they're so creative and so full of life and so capable of making everyone else happy around them despite the troubles they went through. I mean, Fox really did a great thing in pushing the envelope and asking these very hard questions.
You and Taraji, obviously not your first pairing, Hustle and Flow. You guys were awesome. And you guys are going to be in Term Life, which is coming out, this next year as well. I want to know, because your chemistry is so explosive, and the personalities, especially with the characters you're playing, are huge, what it's been like getting back together with her. Like, is this family?
Taraji is crazy. I mean, what's interesting, they call Taraji Unhinged. It's the most exciting thing to watch her work.
Yes.
And watch her see the crowd, see all of the audience, the atmosphere, and knowing that the atmosphere is out of place and they've been told to be quiet and be quiet. So she starts making jokes, and I'm normally the butt of her jokes, my stomach, you know, a ton of things. But she gets everyone in such a gay and relaxed mood that when they say action, she's able to deliver. And I've always been amazed at that gift that she has with that.
And Chicago, is it good to be home and great to be, working here?
Chicago is the best city in the world. I realize that, despite the fact I was born here.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the architecture of the old world. When you built a building, you used real stone. You didn't just use a faux finish on it. You have, it's cold right now,
to say the least.
but the hearts of the people are so warm here. You know, I don't think New York can even compare to the beauty of Chicago, and I wish we were shooting Chicago for Chicago.
This is a wonderful series. I'm so grateful for it. I cannot wait for the rest of America to be able to see it. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.